welcome back to my channel, Sim Productions. Today I am building a tiny house. I've had a few ideas for builds that I've been excited about. This was one of them. I was thinking about making a tiny house. I made one for The Sims 3 and I really enjoyed making it. And I just love the look of tiny houses and stuff. So I really wanted to make this, and I actually was sort of inspired by a real life tiny house that I saw. I think I saw like a video about it on YouTube. It was like this cute little like purple, it had purple wood slats on the outside, and it had like, it was very Victorian inspired, and I liked that about it. But I end up making the outside of this purple, but I wanted to go, my own direction with it a little bit, so I made it, more my own. But that was the base inspiration. So there's a couple places here where I think like, some of it is maybe like you wouldn't think that belongs in a tiny house. Like when I showed my husband the exterior, he was like, it's not really a tiny house, that's a pretty big house. And I was like, well, no, like when you look inside, it's actually pretty tiny. Yeah, so I don't know, there's parts of it, like it looks a little bit, see, you can already see on the outside, it looks a little bit too big to be a tiny house, but it is very small on the inside, and I really like it. And what was more important to me, rather than actually just trying to fit a bunch of furniture into a really small space, what was most important to me was that it like reflects the architecture of real tiny houses that I've seen. So that was really where I was coming from with this house. More than anything, I wanted it to look like an actual tiny house, or look like the houses that I've seen before. So that's why it has a second story. The second story, it is the shortest wall height that you can make it. I thought about not doing a second story, but I ultimately, like, because I've seen a lot of tiny houses, they have loft beds in there, and I really wanted to do that. I wish we had like some kind of option for that in The Sims, where you could do like, I guess I could have done a half wall, but then there's the roofing on that is off, so that really wouldn't have worked out very well, because no, as soon as you put a roof on a half wall, then the roof ends up making the wall a full wall. I've tried to do that before. Or at least that's what happened when I did that, because I actually very recently did a Bob's Burgers build, so that's gonna be my next build video. I'm gonna record that one after this one. I've got the video set up, but I was working on this video, and then I didn't want to switch over to the Bob's Burgers one, so I just figured I'd go ahead and record this one and then the Bob's one, even though I thought I might put the Bob's one up first because I'm a little more proud of it. I actually love the aesthetic of this one. This is very much my, like, I designed this one, like, what is the tiny house that I would want to live in? So like I said, I was inspired by that Victorian looking one, but I also thought about, what would I live in if I lived in a tiny house. I wanted it to be really, really cute and fun and quirky. So yeah, and so like I always make a family to go into my houses, my builds. I always picture like there's a, who would live here, who's gonna, so as I was building it, I was like, who's gonna live here? And I knew I wanted there to be cats, so I put a little cat like thing, the litter box in there. I knew I wanted to have cats in this house, and then ultimately I was like, oh, you know what, I'll make it a cat lady. I'll make it like one lady by herself, bunch of cats. But then I started to think, like, why does she gotta be alone? Why does she gotta be sad? Why does she gotta be by herself? Because I want to break that stereotype. I was thinking like, I want to break that trope. I don't want it to be like, let's not make fun of like some lady living by herself. Maybe she's happy with with her million cats. I don't know. But regardless, like I wanted to do something a little bit different. I mean, it's not that different because what I wound up making is I made her a girlfriend or a wife, I guess. So I made two women, two married women to live here. And it's with that in mind, it's actually a really cute house. I actually really like it as like their living space. Because it looks, it's like a very adorable little place, and I feel like I would love to live here, and it just looks like the perfect little place for two people who are not gonna have children, and they have they have six cats. I gave them six cats. I do wind up changing this bathroom in the end. This bathroom, I liked it. I like the idea of the tub. I used the outhouse toilet instead of like one of the regular toilets because I wanted the toilet to be, like I said, I'm trying to make it, I wanted it to be as inspired by actual tiny houses as possible. So I used the outhouse toilet, and that's why I used the tub with the shower curtain, because I thought that was a little bit more like a tiny house. But then so I did a walk-through playthrough just to test everything. I did a test run, make sure that everything was functional. Oh, I forgot to check the bed. I did not check to see if the bed is functional. I think it should be. I don't, like, I've, you know, that space, I've had beds that are in that kind of a space before, and they worked just fine, so I don't see why that would be a problem. But the bathtub was not functional the way it is, so I wind up changing the tub. Like, it wasn't gonna work. There's no way you're gonna fit a tub in a 2x3 room where the door has to be on the front. If the door could have been on either side of the bathroom, then the tub might have worked. But I wanted to put that closet there because, you know, real tiny houses, like, it's all about the space. It's all about storage. It's all about making sure that there's enough storage space in those places. So I wanted to make sure, and I was thinking about, like, how am I going to fit a dresser in here? And that's just going to take up a lot of space. Tiny houses don't have dressers. They have nooks and crannies where they hide things. So I went with the closet instead, because that way, like, that covers a whole bunch of stuff. Like, they just, you know, they keep all their stuff in there. They keep all their stuff in that closet. So, but that means that I couldn't put the bathroom door on that side of the wall, where if I could have done that, then I could have arranged the tub in there where it would have fit. But it doesn't matter. I changed it to a shower. And so, like I said, I did do a full walkthrough. I did make sure that everything is functional except the bed. Oops. Except for the bed. I haven't checked. It probably is, but I haven't checked. So that, I love that little table and chair set right there. I was like, you know, they need like an eating space as well. It can't just be the little sofa thing. But if I'll go back downstairs, I'm sure in a few minutes, but in that area, the chairs kind of, like, they intersect with the space for the sofa. I love that little corner sofa, and I thought, you know, I've seen a lot of tiny houses that have that little corner sofa in real life, so I thought that would be really cute. And yeah, right there. So the chairs kind of intersect the loading space, I guess you'd call it. You know, the little squares that go in front of it that show you, you know, how much room you need to operate the object. Is there like an official word for that? I don't know. But so the chairs intersect with that, but I checked it out and it's all functional. The sofa is fully functional, so you can have people on the sofa, you can have people in the chairs at the same time, and it doesn't even look bad. It doesn't even, like, there's no, you know, they don't intersect in a way that makes it look horrible or anything. So I thought that was really cool. And oh yeah, and then I pull that out and make a little patio upstairs, and just for function reasons, I wanted it to it would have been hard to extend another roof up there over the place where the easel, yeah, where the easel is. So I just left that open. I thought, like maybe she paints when it's sunny, or maybe she moves the easel to the other side of the patio when it's sunny. I like built their characters, like as I was building the house, I decided who was going to live here. So as I was building it, I used my building as inspiration for who was going to live here, and I decided to put an easel up here because I thought that would be cute. So in that case, then one of the girls that lives here is an artist, and then the other one, I thought it would be cute if there was like one of them is artsy and a bookworm and a writer, and then the other one is more outdoorsy. She loves cats. Her aspiration is about animals, having all the animal friends, and then she likes gardening and the outdoors and stuff. I want them both to like, they're both gardening. They both like gardening. They both like the outdoors, but one of them a little bit more than the other one. One of them is, she's more rugged, and then the other one is more like indoorsy. So I thought that was like just a cute little like setup of that's who lives in this house. Like I liked when I put the furniture in, when I design what decor goes in here, I really like to have a clear idea of who lives in this house and why they have the furniture that they have. Why do they have that decor? Why is there a clothesline instead of a washing machine? Well, partly because it's a tiny house, and it's so they're like environmentally conscious, but also because like they're rugged, and it's they're into like the whole like self-reliance thing, and just they're hippies. They're hippies. So at first I wasn't gonna put trees. I've seen a lot of tiny houses that are just on a plot of land, and I thought I wasn't gonna put any trees in there, but I decided instead, I'm just it just didn't look right, partly because of the way I did the grass. I didn't like the original grass. I didn't want it to just be a plain plot of grass, and then this little like, because I definitely wanted some flowers and bushes and a little fence in the front yard, but it didn't look right, or I knew it wasn't going to look right with the plain plot of regular grass. So but then with the grass terrain paints that I wound up putting in, they don't blend with the edge quite right. Is there a Brindleton Bay grass terrain paint? Because I couldn't find one. I don't know if they just didn't include that grass, because all the grass that's in Brindleton Bay is that color, and I didn't see that in the terrain paints. Maybe I'm overlooking it, but I just didn't see it, so I couldn't, like, I was having trouble blending those edges, so I put the trees in just to blend them a little bit more. I like the terrain colors. Well, I like to include some variants in them, but I also want it to be like, I like the dark grasses. I like the forest floor that comes with outdoor retreat. Yeah, the camping one, whatever it's called. The one where they go camping. It's not the one that, no, spa day. There's a whole nother set that's just spa stuff. Okay, or whatever. So yeah, like I wanted them to have this cute little like front garden area, just like an adorable like front door. In my vampire mansion build, I mentioned how I kept calling everything cute, and I'm doing it again. Like, it's cute. All of it's cute. That's what I love about building. That's what I love about building in The Sims 4, is just making like cute little replicas of real stuff and just making this adorable. It's like a little dollhouse. It's like a little dollhouse. I can't wait to play with this little house and like make because I gave them 6 cats. So I want to play with the couple and their 6 cats. And I like right there, I took away that painting. I really liked this decision. I was trying to put more decor in here, but I ultimately decided, you know what? Tiny houses are all about storage. I've seen a lot of documentaries about tiny houses because at one point I considered, I thought about building one myself and doing that as my living situation. So that wound up not working out. But yeah, all the documentaries I've seen are always about like, it's all about the storage. You always want to have good storage in your tiny house. So that's what I made sure that it was focused on, reflecting that storage need, the storage needs of real tiny houses, and reflecting like the layout and the look of a real tiny house. So like I said, this was originally inspired by a like Victorian purple kind of house that had a lot of white accents that I thought was really pretty. But once I built it, I decided, you know what, I want to make it a little bit unique, make it a little bit different, make it my own. So in a second, I'm about to start playing with the colors. I remember because I used that fencing that came in the Jungle Adventure Pack, which I love that fencing. It's so pretty. And they have a blue version of the fencing, which is really pretty. I really liked, but I ultimately I decided it would clash too much. I wanted the house to have a funky color instead of like having funky colored accents. So and then if I tried to do a blue fence on top of a blue house, that just wasn't gonna look good. So I decided, but that trying out that blue fence, seeing if that looked good, made me decide to change the whole thing blue. And then there it is. That's the outside, and I'll throw up some pics of all the interior, all the finished pieces. But that's my tiny house that I made, and the pictures that I'll throw up will have I took a picture with the new shower, and it actually has one of the women that I designed to live here in the picture, so you'll get to see a little bit of that. And I'll throw this and the couple and their 6 cats up on the gallery. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.